shake no day. Small no be sick, oh. Ambalanda we country. Sleep, sleep, no be die, yeah. Ambalanda we country. All amba them for ground zero. Una chop fire, una tighty. Una remember how this thing be there for 2018 now. Make una know the catch with people them for asking money. Make una know the beat with people them. Make una go back for respect with people them. Make with people them una first line of defense. Una go see say them go the LF. Una give una information. Even give una chop, give una money. Now so we want them. Una di do a good job. We thank una for all the good work. Way una di do. Amba must be free. Sleep no be die. Yeah. Shake shake no day. Small no be sick. Oh. Amba that now we country. Wata na wata. Wata na wata. Small no be sick. Oh. Amba that now we country. Shake shake no day. Small no be sick. Oh. Amba that now we country. Sleep sleep no be die. Yeah. Amba that now we country. Asawana, wana, asabuam, buam, esimili. Where them dey? Make we jam jam and carry and go. Sleep no be die. Yeah. Shake shake no day. Shake shake no go come day. Amba that now we country. Sleep no be die. Shake shake no day. Shake shake no go come day. Until we reach Booyah. Until we reach Booyah. We shall never never leave our journey halfway. Oh. Until we reach Booyah. It be start for November 2017. When Puwabia declare war for Ambazonia. Our brothers and sisters them pick cutlass them. Our brothers and sisters them pin them guns for defend homeland. Them be talk say them go crash Amba in 2 weeks. But not 10 years now I'm counting. La Republic still nova fit crash Amba. Shame oh for La Republic. Sleep no be die. Shake shake no day. Small no be sick. Oh. Ambalanda we country. Wata na wata. Wata na wata. Small no be sick. Oh. Ambalanda we country. Shake shake no day. Small no be sick. Oh. Ambalanda we country. Sleep sleep no be die. Yeah. Ambalanda we country. All amba them for ground zero. Una chop fire, una tighty. Una remember how this thing be there for 2018 now. Make una know the catch with people them for asking money. Make una know the beat with people them. Make una go back for respect with people them. Make with people them una first line of defense. Una go see say them go the LF. Una give una information. Even give una chop, give una money. Now so we want them. Una di do a good job. We thank una for all the good work. Way una di do. Amba must be free. Sleep no be die. Yeah. Shake shake no day. Small no be sick. Oh. Amba that now we country. Wata na wata. Wata na wata. Small no be sick. Oh. Sleep no be die. Shake no day. Shake no go come day. Until we reach booyah. Until we reach booyah. We shall never leave our journey halfway, oh. Until we reach booyah. For November 2017, when Puwabia declare war for Ambazonia, our brothers and sisters them pick cutlass them. Our brothers and sisters them pin them guns for defend homeland. Them be talk say them go crash and buy in 2 weeks, but not 10 years now I'm counting. La Republic still nova fit crash and buy. Shey, oh for La Republic. Shake no day. Small no be sick. Ambalanda we country. Sleep no be die. Ambalanda we country. All amba them for ground zero. Una chop fire. Una tighty. Una remember how this thing be there for 2018. Defense. Una go see say them go the LF. Una give una information. Even give una chop, give una money. Now so we want them. Una di do a good job. We thank una for all the good work. Way una di do. Amba must be free. Sleep no be die. Yeah. Shake no day. Small no be sick. Oh. Amba that now we country. Wata na wata. Wata na wata. Shake no day. Small no be sick. Ambala now we country. Sleep no be die. Ambala now we country. Asawana, wana, asabuam, buam, esimili. Where them day? Make we jam and carry and go. Sleep no be die. Shake no day. Shake no go come day. Ambalanda we country. Sleep no be die. Shake no day. Shake no go come day. Until we reach booyah. Until we reach booyah. We shall never leave our journey halfway, oh, until we reach booyah. It be start for November 2017, when Puwabia declare war for Ambazonia. Our brothers and sisters them pick cutlass them. Our brothers and sisters them pin them guns for defend homeland. Them be talk say them go crash and buy in 2 weeks, but not 10 years now I'm counting. La Republic still nova fit crash and buy. Shey, oh for La Republic. Sleep no be die. Shake no day. Small no be sick. Ambalanda we country. Wata na wata. Wata na wata. Small no be sick. Ambalanda we country. Shake no day. Small no be sick. Ambalanda we country. Sleep no be die. chop fire, una tighty. Una remember how this thing be there for 2018 now. Make una know the catch with people them for asking money. Make una know the beat with people them. Make una go back for respect with people them. Make with people them. Una first line of defense. Una go see say them go the LF. Una give una information. Even give una chop, give una money. Now so we want them. Una di do a good job. We thank una for all the good work. Way una di do. Amba must be free. Sleep no be die. Shake shake no day. Small no be sick. Oh, Amba that now we country. Wata na wata. Wata na wata. Small no be sick. Oh, Amba that now we country. Shake shake no day. Small no be sick. Oh, Amba that now we country. Sleep sleep no be die. Amba that now we country. Asawana, wana, asabuam, buam, esimili. Where them dey? Make we jam jam and carry and go. Sleep no be die. Shake shake no day. Shake shake no go come day. Amba that now we country. Sleep no be die. Shake shake no day. Shake shake no go come day. Until we reach Booyah. Until we reach Booyah. We shall never never leave our journey halfway. Oh, until we reach Booyah. It is start for November 2017. When Puwabia declare war for Ambazonia. Our brothers and sisters them pick cutlass them. Our brothers and sisters them pin them guns for defend homeland. Them be talk say them go crash Amba in 2 weeks, but not 10 years now I'm counting. La Republic still nova fit crash Amba. Shame, oh for La Republic. Sleep no be die. Shake shake no day. Small no be sick. Oh, Amba land now we country. Wata na wata. Wata na wata. Small no be sick. Oh, Amba land now we country. Shake shake no day. Small no be sick. Oh, Amba land now we country. Sleep sleep no be die. Amba land now we country. All Amba them for ground zero. Una chop fire. Una tighty. Una remember how this thing be there for 2018 now. Make una know the catch with people them for asking money. Make una know the beat with people them. Make una go back for respect with people them. Make with people them. Una first line of defense. Una go see say them go the LF. Una give una information. Even give una chop, give una money. Now so we want them. Una di do a good job. We thank una for all the good work. Way una di do. Amba must be free. Sleep no be die. Shake shake no day. Small no be sick. Oh, Amba that now we country. Wata na wata. Wata na wata. Small no be sick. Oh, Amba that now we country. Shake shake no day. Small no be sick. Oh, Amba that now we country. Sleep sleep no be die. Sleep no be die. Shake no day. Shake no go come day. Until we reach booyah. Until we reach booyah. We shall never leave our journey halfway, oh. Until we reach booyah. For November 2017, when Puwabia declare war for Ambazonia, our brothers and sisters them pick cutlass them. Our brothers and sisters them pin them guns for defend homeland. Them be talk say them go crash Amba in 2 weeks, but not 10 years now I'm counting. La Republic still nova fit crash Amba. Shey, oh for La Republic. Chop fire, una tighty. Una remember how this thing be there for 2018 now. Make una know the country people them for asking money. Make una know the beat with people them. Make una go back for respect with people them. Make with people them una first line of defense. Una go see say them go the LF. Una give una information. Even give una chop, give una money. Now so we want them. Una di do a good job. We thank una for all the good work. Way una di do. Amba must be free. Sleep no be die. Yeah. Shake no day. Small no be sick. Oh. Amba that now we country. Wata na wata. Wata na wata. Small no be sick. Oh. Amba that now we country. Shake no day. Small no be sick. Oh. Amba that now we country. Sleep no be die. Yeah. Amba that now we country. Asawana, wana, asabuam, buam, esimili. Where them dey? Make we jam and carry and go. Sleep no be die. Shake no day. Shake no go come day. Amba that now we country. Sleep no be die. Shake no day. Shake no go come day. Until we reach booyah. Until we reach booyah. We shall never leave our journey halfway, oh. Until we reach booyah. It be start for November 2017, when Puwabia declare war for Ambazonia. Our brothers and sisters them pick cutlass them. Our brothers and sisters them pin them guns for defend homeland. Them be talk say them go crash Amba in 2 weeks, but not 10 years now I'm counting. La Republic still nova fit crash Amba. Shey, oh for La Republic. Sleep no be die. Shake no day. Small no be sick. Oh. Amba that now we country. Wata na wata. Wata na wata. Small no be sick. Oh. Amba that now we country. Shake no day. Small no be sick. Oh. Amba that now we country. Sleep no be die. chop fire, una tighty. Una remember how this thing be there for 2018 now. Make una know the catch with people them for asking money. Make una know the beat with people them. Make una go back for respect with people them. Make with people them una first line of defense. Una go see say them go the LF. Una give una information. Even give una chop, give una money. Now so we want them. Una di do a good job. We thank una for all the good work. Way una di do. Amba must be free. Sleep no be die. Yeah. Shake shake no day. Small no be sick. Oh. Amba that now we country. Wata na wata. Wata na wata. Small no be sick. Oh. Amba that now we country. Shake shake no day. Small no be sick. Oh. Amba that now we country. Sleep sleep no be die. Yeah. Amba that now we country. Asawana, wana, asabuam, buam, esimili. Where them dey? Make we jam jam and carry and go. Sleep no be die. Shake shake no day. Shake shake no go come day. Amba that now we country. Sleep no be die. Shake shake no day. Shake shake no go come day. Until we reach Booyah. Until we reach Booyah. We shall never never leave our journey halfway. Oh. Until we reach Booyah. It be start for November 2017. When Puwabia declare war for Ambazonia. Our brothers and sisters them pick cutlass them. Our brothers and sisters them pin them guns for defend homeland. Them be talk say them go crash Amba in 2 weeks. But not 10 years now I'm counting. La Republic still nova fit crash Amba. Shey, oh for La Republic. Sleep no be die. Shake shake no day. Small no be sick. Oh. Amba land now we country. Wata na wata. Wata na wata. Small no be sick. Oh. Amba land now we country. Shake shake no day. Small no be sick. Oh. Amba land now we country. Sleep sleep no be die. Yeah. Amba land now we country. All Amba them for ground zero. Una chop fire. Una tighty. Una remember how this thing be there for 2018 now. Make una know the catch with people them for asking money. Make una know the beat with people them. Make una go back for respect with people them. Make with people them una first line of defense. Una go see say them go the LF. Una give una information. Even give Sleep no be die. Shake no day. Shake no go come day. Until we reach Booyah. Until we reach Booyah. We shall never leave our journey halfway, oh. Until we reach Booyah. For November 2017, when Puwabia declare war for Ambazonia, our brothers and sisters them pick cutlass them. Our brothers and sisters them pin guns for defend homeland. Them be talk say them go crash Amba in 2 weeks, but not 10 years now I'm counting. La Republic still nova fit crash Amba. Shame, oh for La Republic. Shake no day. Small no be sick. Ambalanda we country. Sleep no be die. Ambalanda we country. All amba them for ground zero. Una chop fire. Una tighty. Una remember how this thing be there for 2018 now. Defense. Una go see say them go the LF. Una give una information. Even give una chop, give una money. Now so we want them. Una di do a good job. We thank una for all the good work. Way una di do. Amba must be free. Sleep no be die. Yeah. Shake no day. Small no be sick. Oh. Amba that now we country. Wata na wata. Wata na wata. Shake no day. Small no be sick. Ambara now we country. Sleep no be die. Ambara now we country. Asawana, wana, asabuam, buam, esimili. Where them day, make we jam and carry and go. Sleep no be die. Shake no day. Shake no go come day. Ambalanda we country. Sleep no be die. Shake no day. Shake no go come day. Until we reach Booyah. Until we reach Booyah. We shall never leave our journey halfway, oh, until we reach Booyah. It be start for November 2017, when Puwabia declare war for Ambazonia. Our brothers and sisters them pick cutlass them. Our brothers and sisters them pin guns for defend homeland. Them be talk say them go crash Amba in 2 weeks, but not 10 years now I'm counting. La Republic still nova fit crash Amba. Shame, oh for La Republic. Sleep no be die. Shake no day. Small no be sick. Ambalanda we country. Wata na wata. Wata na wata. Small no be sick. Ambalanda we country. Shake no day. Small no be sick. Ambalanda we country. Sleep no be die. chop fire, una tighty. Una remember how this thing be there for 2018 now. Make una know the country people them for asking money. Make una know the beat with people them. Make una go back for respect with people them. Make with people them. Una first line of defense. Una go see say them go the LF. Una give una information. Even give una chop, give una money. Now so we want them. Una di do a good job. We thank una for all the good work. Way una di do. Amba must be free. Sleep no be die. Yeah. Shake shake no day. Small no be sick. Oh. Amba that now we country. Wata na wata. Wata na wata. Small no be sick. Oh. Amba that now we country. Shake shake no day. Small no be sick. Oh. Amba that now we country. Sleep sleep no be die. Yeah. Amba that now we country. Asawana, wana, asabuam, buam, esimili. Where them dey? Make we jam jam and carry and go. Sleep no be die. Hey. Shake shake no day. Shake shake no go come day. Amba that now we country. Sleep no be die. Shake shake no day. Shake shake no go come day. Until we reach Booyah. Until we reach Booyah. We shall never never leave our journey halfway. Oh. Until we reach Booyah. It is start for November 2017. When Puwabia declare war for Ambazonia. Our brothers and sisters them pick cutlass them. Our brothers and sisters them pin them guns for defend homeland. Them be talk say them go crash and buy in 2 weeks. But not 10 years now I'm counting. La Republic still nova fit crash and buy. Shame, oh for La Republic. Sleep no be die. Shake shake no day. Small no be sick. Oh. Ambalanda we country. Wata na wata. Wata na wata. Small no be sick. Oh. Ambalanda we country. Shake shake no day. Small no be sick. Oh. Ambalanda we country. Sleep sleep no be die. Yeah. Ambalanda we country. All amba them for ground zero. Una chop fire. Una tighty. Una remember how this thing be there for 2018 now. Make una know the country people them for asking money. Make una know the beat with people them. Make una go back for respect with people them. Make with people them. Una first line of defense. Una go see say them go the LF. Una give una information. Even give Sleep no be die. Shake no day. Shake no go come day. Until we reach booyah. Until we reach booyah. We shall never leave our journey halfway, oh. Until we reach booyah. For November 2017, when Puwabia declare war for Ambazonia, our brothers and sisters them pick cutlass them. Our brothers and sisters them pin them guns for defend homeland. Them be talk say them go crash Amba in 2 weeks, but not 10 years now I'm counting. La Republic still nova fit crash Amba. Shey, oh for La Republic. Chop fire, una tighty. Una remember how this thing be there for 2018 now. Make una know the country people them for asking money. Make una know the beat with people them. Make una go back for respect with people them. Make with people them una first line of defense. Una go see say them go the LF. Una give una information, even give una chop, give una money. Now so we want them. Una di do a good job. We thank una for all the good work. Way una di do. Amba must be free. Sleep no be die. Yeah. Shake no day. Small no be sick. Oh. Amba that now we country. Wata na wata. Wata na wata. Small no be sick. Oh. Amba that now we country. Shake no day. Small no be sick. Oh. Amba that now we country. Sleep no be die. Yeah. Amba that now we country. Asawana, wana, asabuam, buam, esimili. Where them day, make we jam and carry and go. Sleep no be die. Shake no day. Shake no go come day. Amba that now we country. Sleep no be die. Shake no day. Shake no go come day. Until we reach booyah. Until we reach booyah. We shall never leave our journey halfway, oh. Until we reach booyah. It be start for November 2017, when Puwabia declare war for Ambazonia. Our brothers and sisters them pick cutlass them. Our brothers and sisters them pin them guns for defend homeland. Them be talk say them go crash Amba in 2 weeks, but not 10 years now I'm counting. La Republic still nova fit crash Amba. Shey, oh for La Republic. Sleep no be die. Shake no day. Small no be sick. Oh. Amba that now we country. Wata na wata. Wata na wata. Small no be sick. Oh. Amba that now we country. Shake no day. Small no be sick. Oh. Amba that now we country. Sleep no be die. Yeah. Amba that now we country. All Amba them for ground zero. no be die. Shake no day. Shake no go come day. Until we reach Booyah. Until we reach Booyah. We shall never, never leave our journey halfway, oh. Until we reach Booyah. For November 2017, when Puwabia declare war for Ambazonia, our brothers and sisters them pick cutlass them. Our brothers and sisters them pin them guns for defend homeland. Them be talk say them go crash Amba in 2 weeks, but not 10 years now I'm counting. La Republic still nova fit crash Amba. Shey, oh for La Republic. Chop fire, una tighty. Una remember how this thing be there for 2018 now. Make una know the catch with people them for asking money. Make una know the beat with people them. Make una go back for respect with people them. Make with people them una first line of defense. Una go see say them go the LF. Una give una information, even give una chop, give una money. Now so we want them. Una di do a good job. We thank una for all the good work. Way una di do. Amba must be free. Sleep no be die. Shake no day. Small no be sick. Oh, Amba that now we country. Wata na wata. Wata na wata. Small no be sick. Oh, Amba that now we country. Shake no day. Small no be sick. Oh, Amba that now we country. Sleep no be die. Amba that now we country. Asawana, wana, asabuam, buam, esimili. Where them dey? Make we jam and carry and go. Sleep no be die. Shake no day. Shake no go come day. Amba that now we country. Sleep no be die. Shake no day. Shake no go come day. Until we reach Booyah. Until we reach Booyah. We shall never, never leave our journey halfway, oh. Until we reach Booyah. It be start for November 2017, when Puwabia declare war for Ambazonia. Our brothers and sisters them pick cutlass them. Our brothers and sisters them pin them guns for defend homeland. Them be talk say them go crash Amba in 2 weeks, but not 10 years now I'm counting. La Republic still nova fit crash Amba. Shey, oh for La Republic. Sleep no be die. Shake no day. Small no be sick. Oh, Amba that now we country. Wata na wata. Wata na wata. Small no be sick. Oh, Amba that now we country. Shake no day. Small no be sick. Oh, Amba that now we country. Sleep no be die. Amba that now we country. All Amba them for ground zero. Una talk fire, una tighty. Una remember how this thing be there for 2018 now. Make una know the catch with people them for asking money. Make una know the beat with people them. Make una go back for respect with people them. Make with people them una first line of defense. Una go see say them go the LF. Una give una information. Even give una chop, give una money. Now so we want them. Una di do a good job. We thank una for all the good work. Way una di do. Amba must be free. Sleep no be die. Yeah. Shake shake no day. Small no be sick. Oh. Amba that now we country. Wata na wata. Wata na wata. Small no be sick. Oh. Amba that now we country. Shake shake no day. Small no be sick. Oh. Amba that now we country. Sleep sleep no be die. Yeah. Amba that now we country. Asawana, wana, asabuam, buam, esimili. Where them dey? Make we jam jam and carry and go. Sleep no be die. Shake shake no day. Shake shake no go come day.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to News Talk with yours truly, coming to you as usual from the great state of Texas, Houston, Texas, precisely. I am Chris, and thank you for tuning in to be a part of this broadcast tonight. As usual, I come to you with information that is educative, informative, of course, also very, very inspiring. Thank you for tuning in. I'd like to welcome all of you who are joining in from all of Africa, where the African Cup of Nations just rounded up at the weekend, and why there is celebration in one part of the continent. Another part of the continent is agitative and very, very sad. Going to be coming to that. But also I'd like to welcome all of you from Europe, from the continent USA, and from Asia. Thank you for tuning in. Please, if you are joining by way of Facebook, do me the favor, hit your share button. Hit your share button. And if you are joining by way of YouTube, also do me the favor, let us grow the subscription base of this platform, ABS Africa TV on YouTube. Please hit the like and the subscribe button. When you do so, every time we are live, you are one of the first person to receive the notifications to let you know we are live. ABS is live. So tonight, I will be bringing you information from La République du Cameroon, precisely Indu in the Gadido local community, where some killings took place last week, killings of innocent civilians. I'm going to be coming to discuss with you a peace talk that has been scheduled by the colonial officer for that community. I'm going to explain to you why it is no good. And then I will take you to Senegal and to Rabat. Is it Rabat? Rabat in Morocco, where the African Cup of Nations took place. And there is a lot of agitation around the globe against Africa, particularly black Africa. And I'm going to explain to you, it looks like racism to me. I don't know how you look at it, but I'm going to also to bring you that story. But most importantly for today, I bring you a release and a script which I titled, Why Africans Live. Why Africans Live. All over the globe, be it in Europe, in America, in China, they want Africans to go back to their various countries. They tell Africans, we don't want to see you here. You go and build your own countries. The West preaches morality to Africa, but they turn around to keep those in power who make Africans to live in the first place. That is the main subject of tonight. When I come back, ladies and gentlemen, I will bring you these stories. So please, stay tuned. Stay tuned. I'm going to be right back with these stories.
ABS can help you reach your target audience like never before. Advertising on ABS, you'll benefit from our extensive reach and dedicated viewership. We offer special advertising packages during primetime slots and popular shows. You'll also be featured on our social media platforms, reaching an even wider audience. Don't miss out on this opportunity. Take your business to the next level. Contact our advertising team at absafricatv@gmail.com. ABS can help you reach your target audience like never before. Advertising on ABS, you'll benefit from our extensive reach and dedicated viewership. We offer special advertising packages during primetime slots and popular shows. You'll also be featured on our social media platforms, reaching an even wider audience. Don't miss out on this opportunity. Take your business to the next level.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for staying put. Last week, I brought you this report on the killing of 14 children and women in a community called Gidado. Gidado is found in the Indu local government, Indu County of Amazonia. Of course, La République du Cameroon citizens would love to call it Indu Cancer in their country, where there is contention. The ownership of that community is under contention. It's either owned by Amazonia or it is owned by La République du Cameroon. But I can tell you one thing, it is owned by Amazonia, still administered by the colonial La République du Cameroon. That is the right way to put it. Owned by Amazonia, administered by La République du Cameroon. And so last week, it is alleged, Amazonia restoration fighters went into that community called Gidado and ambushed 14 civilians. They were still in bed, still sleeping at the quietest time of the morning you can imagine. We are told at the last count, 14 children and 14 people, including children, women and pregnant women, lost their lives in that incident. But last week when I came to you, I tried to chronicle the origin of this conflict or crisis within that community. And I traced it to the arming of the Mbororo community by the occupying forces of La République du Cameroon. I particularly mentioned the empowering of the Mbororo community by giving them arms of the Cameroon regime to go after Amazonian fighters. But not only arming them, we are told Mbororos were recruited as spies to fight or leak intelligence as to the movement and location of Amazonia restoration fighters to La République du Cameroon officials and their military. Now, the Mbororo community appeared to have embraced this idea, this arming by the Cameroon government and their soldiers. On the other hand, the Mbororo community complained they had to accept arming and voluntary giving out of intelligence to the Cameroon government and its army because they were attacked by, allegedly, Amazonia restoration fighters who have stolen much of their cattle and deprived many farmers, cattle rearers or cattle farmers in that community of their cows. And because of that, they thought being armed or serving as intelligence for the Cameroon government would kind of deter their opponents from the attacks and the stealing of their cows. So, fast forward to 3 weeks before last week killings in Gidado, we are told that Mbororos ambushed and killed 9 Amazonian restoration fighters. They ambushed and killed 9 Amazonian restoration fighters. And as retaliation last week, if it is true that it was actually done by Amazonian fighters, we are told that 14 civilians, children, pregnant women, and women were killed, ambushed and killed early in the morning while they slept at home. Now, when I came to you last week, I proffered a solution to this crisis. And I stated that the Mbororo community, because I saw them threatening in front of the Cameroonian military, the gendarmes, the police, and the army with their machetes, sticks, and guns, threatening they will kill somebody, they will kill, they will track and kill Amazonia restoration forces. According to them, of course, Amazonian forces killed their children and their women. And so I proffered here last time, ladies and gentlemen, that this retaliation that recircles itself, you attack me, I attack you, doesn't help, cannot bring peace to the community. But the elders of the community, they can sit down and figure out and speak dialogue, put dialogue on the table and bring this retribution to an end. And so I guess somebody was listening to me. The mayor of Indu, I guess he was listening to me. The mayor of Indu has now put together a peace panel. And you know, ladies and gentlemen, when La République du Cameroon, they put forth a peace panel, you know how exactly that panel looks like. The panel will be made up of the imams, the pastors, the elite of the community. That elite include their parliamentarians, their senators, and the CPDM cronies from that area. That is what the mayor, the colonial mayor of Indu has done. He has put on a panel. Let me read what I have here. Peace talks and development meeting convened by the colonial mayor of Indu local government, one Mr. Abdul Kanfon Bono. This meeting has been convened for Saturday, the 24th of January, that is coming Saturday, in an area where there are crises within another major crisis, a crisis within another major crisis. Dialogue is necessary, especially when the civilians are caught across firepower between the Fulani and the community, the warriors and the Fulanis, the warriors and La République du Cameroon's military thugs and agents. Although this is called by the colonial mayor, talks are important, absolutely. That is the point. Again, talks are important, and it is what I recommended last week when I spoke on this subject. However, when these talks, this peace arrangement is being summoned by one of the parties involved, he is partisan, a partisan party involved in the person of the colonial mayor for Indu, what do people expect to come out of it? Of course, nothing. If the mayor of Indu was really serious, listen to the sound of my voice here. If the mayor of Indu was very serious in this arrangement, you know what you would have done? Number one, recognize there is a conflict in the country, and that conflict filters down to your immediate community where there is now another crisis as a result of the conflict in the country. If you recognize that, you will now realize that if you have to bring permanent peace to the community, you would have to invite the other side here being the Ambazonian side, the Ambazonian restoration fighters side, who are accused of carrying out the killings. In fact, in this case, the killings are not carried out only by Ambazonian restoration fighters. We know, you know, the killings are also carried out by the Fulanis, the Mbororo. And so, the best way to have called for a peace summit within Indu or Gidado would have been to identify the leaders of the Ambazonian movement in that community. If you cannot identify them in the community, identify them nationally. And they don't have to be physically in your presence to discuss with you. You can put them. I mean, we are living in the 21st century and technology has out. I mean, you can sit anywhere and conduct business through technology. Zoom, phone, just call in. Allow the Ambazonian leaders to call in and make contributions. One thing that the people of Indu must know, especially the colonial officers in Indu must know, is that Ambazonian leaders, and I believe the same thing with genuine Ambazonian fighters, they do not want to see civilians killed on any occasion, recklessly in that matter. They do not want to see it. Ambazonian leaders are out to preserve the lives of Ambazonian civilians. And that is what they tell the fighters on the field. Spare your civilians, protect your civilians, provide your civilians, provide a shield for your civilians. They should never be your target. That is what Ambazonian leaders tell the fighters on the ground. You, of course, you will always have rook fighters on the ground who are opportunistic, and they go out to abduct and kidnap civilians to take money, collect money, enrich themselves. Ambazonian leaders do not. And if any Ambazonian leader support the abduction, the kidnapping, and the ransom taking of any civilian on the ground, that person deserves to be in jail. Absolutely, that person deserves to be in jail. And so, the Indu colonial officers, if they want peace in Gidado, in Ntumbo, in all of Indu or in Kambe, what they need to do is not to call this assembly of the imams, the alajis, the pastors, the CPDM elites, the parliamentarians. You are calling it one-sided, sirs. You are making it one-sided. Because if you cannot stop attacks from Fulanis in Bororos, you are merely saying to the other side, well, you are not part of this. You are not recognized. And so I don't know how you can call the imams, the pastors, the clergy, and your elite and sit them on the table to say what to them when you don't have the other side. What are they going to say? Of course, they will live there saying, Fulanis, Mbororos, please, 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 don't attack anyone anymore. You see anything, you call the police, you call the army, which is okay. Which is okay. But what if the Mbororos and the Fulanis say to them, you are cautioning us. How about our attackers? What are you saying to them? Because the attackers are not. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is my suggestion. The people in Gidado, the people in Indu, in Kambe as a whole. Is Indu in Kambe? I think Indu is, I don't know what is part of Bui County. But whatever the case, the right way to negotiate peace in that community to stop the killing, the retributory killings that go on and on and on end between the Mbororo communities and allegedly Ambazonian fighters. The way to end it, ladies and gentlemen, is to invite Ambazonian leaders virtually, because Chris Anu would not descend on Indu for a peace settlement before Cameroon calls for one. You know, you know that, right? They won't let me come back with my head. So, but the best way to do it is call for, invite the Ambazonian leaders, especially the handlers of the fighters in Indu. Talk to them. You must recognize this. This is not coming out of the vacuum. These killings are not coming out of the vacuum. The killings are coming out of the 9 years war inflicted upon Ambazonians by the regime in Yaoundé. And in a war, whether you like it or not, there is always collateral damage. But it can be prevented where that collateral damage is within the party that is fighting the other country. And the way to do that is, number one, recognize the larger conflict, Ambazonia versus La République du Cameroon. And secondly, when you constitute your dialogue or peace committee, engage both parties. Engage those fighters whom you allege are responsible for the killing of the 14 children and women. Again, the way you engage them is involve them virtually. Engage them virtually. Let them know if they indeed, let everybody know if they indeed killed those 14 children. And if they did kill the 14 children, what was the reason for killing the 14 children? Maybe if they did, they may say we killed the 14 children and the women because our brothers were killed only 3 weeks ago, 9 of them in number. So the question becomes, what do we do here? How can we stop this retribution from both sides? How do we stop it? So you're calling the imams and calling the bishops and the clergies and the elite parliamentarians, senators to come and sit down without both sides on the table. You waste your time, and I can imagine how much money, the budget you have for this, just the budget that goes into your pocket and not for peacemaking. That is the way to resolve the Gidado and the Fulani Mbororo Amba crisis within that community. So this meeting on Saturday, I pity what is going to come out of there, because it is not going to be a resolution of that crisis. I have spoken to some Mbororo indigents here in the diaspora, and I have said to them, I am very much ready to talk to the leaders, the elders in the Mbororo community. I think I am in the position to broker some peace, some understanding with the Mbororo community in that area. We can do this because we don't want our people killing themselves. We don't want Ambazonians fighting Ambazonians, killing Ambazonians. Mbororos are Ambazonians. Fulanis are Ambazonians. They should not be killed or they should not die for a war that, for a war that's supposed to be facing the enemy in La République du Cameroon. They shouldn't die. They are Ambazonians. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're listening to the sound of my voice and you know this colonial mayor in the Indu called Abdul Kanfo Bono, tell him he is doing the right thing, but from the wrong position, and it is not going to yield any good result. It will definitely not. So that is that, ladies and gentlemen, from Indu local government, Indu County in Ambazonia. I hope this makes sense, and I hope that they can reach out. They can reach out to Ambazonian stakeholders and say, what can we do to bring lasting peace in this community? Because the Ambazonian war is not against Ambazonians, which the Fulanis are. The Ambazonian war is against the French Cameroon and their army, the occupying army. No one civilian in Ambazonia should die, except they choose to be used. They choose to be used by the enemy forces. Otherwise, every one Ambazonian should be protected. They should be protected by the boys who want us to believe they fight for the freedom of the same people. And so that is that, ladies and gentlemen. I take a brief break out, and I come back to you. With what is going on after the African Cup of Nations took place in Rabat, Morocco, last weekend. Please stay tuned. I will be right back.
ABS can help you reach your target audience like never before. Advertising on ABS, you'll benefit from our extensive reach and dedicated viewership. We offer special advertising packages during primetime slots and popular shows. You'll also be featured on our social media platforms, reaching an even wider audience. Don't miss out on this opportunity. Take your business to the next level. Contact our advertising team at absafricativ@gmail.com. ABS can help you reach your target audience like never before. Advertising on ABS, you'll benefit from our extensive reach and dedicated viewership. We offer special advertising packages during primetime slots and popular shows. You'll also be featured on our social media platforms, reaching an even wider audience. Don't miss out on this opportunity. Take your business to the next level.
Senegal goal got disallowed, and they on the 92 or 98 minute they got a goal, but the goal have been disallowed. And after that there was a penalty on the Brahim Diaz. The penalty have given, and that was a shocking moment for the Senegal team. And Senegal team they leave the stadium and they thought that they will not play the game, and referee was shocked for the reason. And after that Sadio Mane, who call all the team and say that let's play the game and don't go. So that's why the team came after the penalty one, and Brahim Diaz came on the penalty box and he missed the chance, and Mendy saved that, and Brahim Diaz with a huge miss, the match going to the extra time. And that was the last man. If they score the goal, the Moroccan team will score the goal, the Moroccan team will win the match. But this game got turned out and it went toward the extra time. Guys, what's reaction? Today we have seen much more drama where Senegal goal got disallowed, and they on the 92 or 98 minute they got a goal, but the goal have.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I take you to Morocco and to Senegal, Dakar, Senegal, where the mountain lions of Senegal are the talk of the day after winning this year's 2026 African Cup of Nations that took place in Morocco last weekend. Now, this is what is happening in the Senegal today. Look at what's happening in Senegal today. The population poured out in their hundreds of thousands to welcome the mountain lions. They call them the mountain lions of Senegal, as they brought in the AFCON, African Cup of Nations, the trophy they won last Sunday in Rabat, Morocco. Senegal, look at the crowds, ladies and gentlemen. Look at the crowds. It was huge. It was huge. However, that isn't the subject of this monologue that I bring to you about this trophy. You find the headline, AFCON 2026, Rest of the World versus Black Africa. Now, this is very important, because what we are beginning to learn after the finals last Sunday is this. That trophy was meant to go to Morocco at all costs. The trophy was designed from the onset at the beginning of the tournament to go to Morocco. Now, I'm sure you know, Morocco has never won the African Cup of Nations. This was Senegal's second victory, second win of the African Cup of Nations. Countries like Nigeria, Cameroon, Egypt, they won it 5, 4, 6 times. Morocco has never. And so this was designed to be Morocco's time. It was designed to be Morocco's moment to carry the trophy away. What we are learning is this. All the matches played by Morocco, either through the match officials or through CAF arrangements, Morocco was being protected to make sure they get to the finals. Perhaps except the match against Cameroon, where they won very convincingly. Cameroon they were running around the field like women in their wrappers. That's exactly what Cameroonian players looked like when they played Morocco. They were handily beaten 2-0. And actually, I don't think they had even to qualify to that stage of the competition. They needed to go back home to face the conflict back in that country, the Cameroon-Ambazonian War, because The African Cup of Nations for Cameroonians was a distraction from the political situation, the Issa Chiroma situation, and the Ambazonian War. When I still lived in Cameroon many years ago, when the Cup of Nations or the World Cup was coming, every talk, every focus was on the World Cup or the African Cup. And the politicians use it to take their retreat, take a rest, because nobody was talking about any other thing other than either the African Cup or the World Cup. And so, ladies and gentlemen, apart from Cameroon that the Moroccans beat handily, they were not programmed to lose any encounter, not against Senegal. They were programmed to win and carry the cup to Morocco. Now, there are many out there. I wake up this morning reading CAF sanctions, FIFA's sanction, and if you watch the match Senegal-Morocco, the world was focused on that match. On that Sunday, the world was focused on Africa over the Cup of Nations. FIFA president, of course, he was obligated to be there. But I realized in Europe, in the UK, in France, in Belgium, Italy, Germany, everywhere, the football world, soccer world as they call it in America, it was all focused on Africa. In fact, I learned that Americans send their security team to go and observe how the AFCON was organized or is organized security-wise. So the world was focused on that African Cup of Nations. But guess who they wanted to win, ladies and gentlemen? They wanted Morocco to carry the cup. And from the officials of CAF, of FIFA, to the officials, match officials on the pitch, they wanted Morocco to win. That is why, when Senegal scored the first goal, legitimate goal, the referee cancelled it. A few minutes later, when he accorded Morocco a penalty in less than 1 minute to the end of the game, the Senegalese agitated and walked off the pitch, and the world went amok. The international so-called international community, FIFA, CAF, they went amok that the Senegalese walked out of the pitch in protest of that penalty. Now, waking up this morning, there are sanctions labeled everywhere against the Senegalese. In fact, I learned their coach has been banned from soccer indefinitely. Certainly, the country will also be slapped with a ban. Not because Senegal corrupted the process, but because Morocco did not win, ladies and gentlemen. That is us. Nobody is protesting the legitimate goal that was scored by Senegal. Nobody. They are not protesting that. A genuine goal, a legitimate goal. There was no foul there. In fact, if you look at the VAR, video assistant referee replay the slowdown of that footage, you discover that the person who fouled was a Moroccan player who, in attempting to push away a Senegalese player from heading the ball into the goalpost, dropped to the floor. And instead of the referee calling for a penalty in that matter for the Senegalese, they gave the Moroccans a goal kick. But then a few minutes, about 3 minutes later, and 1 minute to the end of the encounter, he gives Morocco a penalty shot. And the Senegalese said, if you fail to give us a penalty shot over there 2 minutes ago, there is no reason why Morocco should deserve a penalty shot 1 minute to the end of the match. And the kerfuffle continued for about 10 minutes. 10 minutes. The Senegalese walked out of the pitch, walked into the dressing room until one of them, and this is Mane, walked in and persuaded them to return to the field. They returned to the field. The penalty is taken, and Morocco lost the penalty. Morocco lost the penalty. The game extends to extra time, and Senegal scores. Now, they did not only score, that was a winning goal. Now, instead of telling the Moroccans you lost the game legitimately, you failed to score a penalty that would have taken off the prolongation. No, everybody is blaming Senegal. For what reason? I don't know. If there is any blame, it should be the blame to the match officials, the referees and the linesmen and CAF, who took that decision, those decisions to cancel Senegal's goal and give Morocco a penalty shot. But listen to this, ladies and gentlemen. This is the angle where it looks like racism, which is why we call it the rest of the world versus black Africa. The rest of the world versus black Africa. Now you see, if you will recall, I don't know whether some of you know this, in the last World Cup, Morocco, the Moroccans said, we are not Africans. Moroccans have always, not only Morocco, the Moroccans, the Egyptians, the Libyans, the Tunisians, they have never recognized themselves as Africans. They believe they are Arabs in the order of Turkey, Syria, you can name the rest. They don't, because Africa is black, they say. But we are not black, we are white, we are like the Turkish, we are like the Syrians, we are like the Lebanese. That's what the Moroccans believe. And so in the last World Cup, because they did so well, they told the rest of the world, I think it was their coach who told the rest of the world, stop calling us representing Africans. We are not Africans. We are not Africans. So can you imagine? Can you imagine? They organize, they host the African Nations Cup, and they do everything to take it away. And they know that they are not Africans, right? So a legitimate Africa, black Africa, wins the cup. And now they agitate. They say the cup is stolen away from them. They say they are cheated when they failed to score a simple penalty that could have given them the much expected victory. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is my take. That is my take on this African Cup of Nations thing. Now, you will recall that Morocco, Egypt, Algeria, Tunisia, Libya, they all participate in the Arab League Cup of Nations. I don't know whether many of you know this. Morocco, Algeria, all those north of the Sahara, they participate in the Arab Cup. But when it comes to African Cup, they say, we are not Africans, but they want to take the cup. They want to take the cup. And now they say, oh, black Africa stole the cup from us. They stole the cup from us. They took it away from us illegitimately. Well, I think next time, maybe somebody should tell CAF, next time African Cup should remain south of the Sahara. Right? It should remain south of the Sahara. And let the Egyptians, the Libyans, the Moroccans, the Tunisians, the Algerians, let them stay with the Arab world, isn't it? And compete in the Arab Cup as they have done all these years. That's what it should be. I think Africa would be whole, made whole, complete, with only with a Cup of Nations that starts. That is all sub-Saharan Africa. All right. I hope I make a point there. I hope I make some sense there. But we want to congratulate. We want to congratulate the Senegalese for a job well done. A job well done. For carrying the cup twice. And I am so glad Cameroon did not qualify, not for the semi-finals, not for the World Cup, because something much more important than football or soccer, playing at home. And they need to take care, they need to focus on that. They need to focus on that, take care of that before they start thinking of football or soccer. There is no reason the regime in La République du Cameroun should get any breathing space for anything. Soccer should not give them any breathing space. Let them focus on resolving the crisis and the conflict that has engulfed that territory for the past 9 years and recently with their elections. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, and that is it for the African Cup of Nations. When I come back, I take you to the main subject of the day. Please stay put. I will be right back. All right.
Contact our advertising team at absafricatv@gmail.com. ABS can help you reach your target audience like never before. Advertising on ABS, you'll benefit from our extensive reach and dedicated viewership. We offer special advertising packages during primetime slots and popular shows. You'll also be featured on our social media platforms, reaching an even wider audience. Don't miss out on this opportunity. Take your business to the next level. Contact our advertising team at absafricatv@gmail.com. ABS can help you reach your target audience like never before. Advertising on ABS, you'll benefit from our extensive reach and dedicated viewership. We offer special advertising packages during primetime slots and popular shows. You'll also be featured on our social media platforms, reaching an even wider audience. Don't miss out on this opportunity. Take your business to the next level.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for staying put out there. Please, if again you are joining by way of the social media, talking about Facebook and YouTube, go ahead, hit your share button. Go ahead, hit your share button. When you do that, every time, especially if you are doing so by way of YouTube, hitting the subscribe button, when you do so, you receive notifications every time ABS is live. Now, to the subject of the moment, ladies and gentlemen, you will all, some of you have received some book promotion from yours truly, titled The Hypocrisy of the West. The Hypocrisy of the West. That is the title of a book that yours truly recently published. It's a long time that I did write a book or publish a book. That was the last time I published a book was 1992, and that led to a warrant of arrest for me in La République du Cameroun, for which I had to escape, go on exile, lived in exile in Nigeria for 5 solid years after that book was published. Again, that book was titled The Criminal at the Presidency. Criminal at the Presidency. That was in 1992. Again, after it was published, the regime in La République du Cameroun issued a warrant of arrest for me. And that was when I left Cameroon for good, 1992. And When I write, as many of you have had the opportunity to listen to me, I take time to write. I don't write for sensation. I write because it moves me. I write because what I write about or what I see moves me. And that is what I have done in this book, which is titled The Hypocrisy of the West. The Hypocrisy of the West. You can find it right there on your screen. The Hypocrisy of the West. That is my very recent publication. The book was published, I think, about, it's not up to a week now. It's not up to a week now. And so what I want to do is paint a picture, ladies and gentlemen, of what is in this book. That it has nothing to do with sensation. It has everything to do with the way Africa and Africans have been treated by the West. And yet, they want Africa to learn from them. They think they have the moral high ground to tell Africa what to do. However, the moment Africa is trying to do exactly what they ask, they tie our hands. I have also argued in this book, ladies and gentlemen, that African migrants do not come here because they hate Africa. They are here because of the conditions created by the West. I think I should not waste your time a lot here. Let me bring you that monologue. And after the monologue, ladies and gentlemen, I will open the phone lines to take your call. After the monologue, I will open the phone lines to take your call. So please, you stay put, and I'd like you to know every image that you find on your screen. This is what Africans go through. You are looking there at images of Africans in prison in Libya. Africans trying to transit to Europe, to Western Europe in particular. You can find them. Look at your sisters. This could be your sister. This could be your mother in prison in Libya. Ladies and gentlemen. Look at Africans, migrants. This is not a prison in Cameroon or in Nigeria or anywhere else. These are Africans trying to make it to Europe. Now you find the jungle, the Amazon jungles of South America. Africans. Look at the children. Look at our people, our sisters, our brothers. That is what we go through in Africa. And so this is what this book is dealing with or talking about. And I like to bring you the details of it right now, ladies and gentlemen. All right. The Hypocrisy of the West, ladies and gentlemen, is not a polite book. It is not a book that seeks approval, balance, or diplomatic applause. It is a book written with clenched teeth and an unblinking stare, because politeness is a luxury Africa can no longer afford. It is an accusation, a carefully reasoned, historically grounded, and morally relentless against a Western order that has perfected the art of preaching virtue while practicing betrayal. At its core, the hypocrisy of the West exposes a single devastating contradiction. The West tells Africans to believe in democracy and change their systems, yet punishes them whenever they try to make it a reality. For decades, Africa has been lectured lectured about good governance, lectured about institutions, good institutions, lectured about transparency, accountability, term limits, and free and fair elections. African leaders are summoned to conferences in DC, in Europe, in Asia, Russia, workshops, summits, and donor forums, where Western officials speak with the certainty of priests and the authority of judges. Hold elections, they say. Respect the will of the people. Build democratic cultures. Change your systems. Africans listen. Africans vote. And Africans pay the price. Because when African voters finally speak clearly, when they vote out strongmen who have overstayed, who have looted the country, brutalized, and stagnated their own nations, the same West suddenly loses its voice. Or worse, it finds a new one, the language of stability, strategic interest, and constructive engagement. Ballots are ignored. Corpses are downplayed. Fraud is relabeled as irregularities. And dictators are congratulated. This is the hypocrisy the book dissects without mercy. In country after country in Africa, ladies and gentlemen, the pattern is the same. Opposition victories are annulled by force. Results are rewritten in the dead of night. Security forces fire into crowds. Protesters are hunted, imprisoned, or killed. Courts rubber-stamp theft. And the next morning, Western embassies issue statements carefully calibrated to offend no one in power, not to offend the elite. They note the results. They urge calm. They call on all parties as if the victim and the executioner share equal blame. Then, they resume business as usual. Hypocrisy of the West names this for what it is, the legitimization of illegitimacy. And once power learns it can steal without consequence, it never stops stealing. The tragedy is not that Africa lacks democratic instincts. The tragedy is that those instincts have been systematically punished. When elections become rituals with predetermined results, citizens learn a brutal lesson. Voting is just theater, not power. Peaceful change is an illusion. The system is closed. The door is locked. This is where the book Hypocrisy of the West makes its most incendiary and uncomfortable argument. The one polite analysts avoid. The one point that analysts avoid. African migration is not an economic accident. It is a political outcome engineered by the West as double standards. Africans do not wake up one morning, ladies and gentlemen, eager to get lost in the Amazon jungles or forests. Neither do they wake up to get drowned in the Mediterranean or rot in Libyan detention camps. Africans do not casually abandon family, abandon language, abandon culture and dignity to gamble with death in the desert. They leave because every internal path to change has been deliberately blocked. They leave because ballots fail them. Protests fail, courts fail, dialogue fail, and the international community, so-called the West, the same one that demanded reform, sided with those who made reform impossible. When the powerful refuse to listen to the votes, the powerless stop believing in staying. And so they live. The hypocrisy of the West walks through the radar to project exactly this picture. A young graduate votes for change, for example. The vote is stolen. He protests peacefully. He is beaten. He mobilizes. He is arrested. He appeals to the world. The world shrugs. At some point, survivor replaces patriotism. The ocean, the desert, the jungle, these become exit roads from a system designed to crush hope. And then, with staggering cynicism, the West turns around and asks, why are they coming here? The hypocrisy of the West does not spare Western liberals, conservatives, or institutions. It argues that this hypocrisy is bipartisan, systemic, and deeply embedded. One administration speaks the language of human rights, while funding regimes that violate them. Another administration speaks the language of security, while arming governments, dictators that terrorize their own citizens. The rhetoric changes. The outcome doesn't. African lives remain negotiable. What makes Africa unique, ladies and gentlemen, in this moral failure is not suffering. Suffering exists everywhere, but selective enforcement. In some parts of the world, stolen elections trigger sanctions, isolation, even intervention. But in Africa, they trigger photo ops and diplomatic handshakes. The same West that can move swiftly and decisively when its interests are threatened, suddenly when it comes to Africa, become patient, cautious, and understanding when African democracies are strangled. This is not ignorance, it is policy. The book argues that Africa has become a laboratory for double standards, a place where principles are tested, bent, and discarded. Human rights are conditional. Democracy is optional. Justice is postponed indefinitely. And the justification is always the same. We must avoid chaos, they want us to believe. Yet chaos is precisely what this hypocrisy produces. Permanent instability, masquerading as order. Perhaps the most corrosive damage the book insists is not economic or political, but psychological. Western hypocrisy has destroyed trust. Trust in elections, trust in international law, trust in the very idea that moral language means anything at all. When young Africans see dictators rewarded and victims are forgotten, chased out, democracy ceases to inspire. It begins to look like a trap. This is why coups find applause where ballots found silence. This is why slogans of strong leadership gain traction. This is why cynicism spreads among the people. When democratic paths are closed, anti-democratic alternatives rush in to fill the void. The West, having heard discredit democracy, then expresses shock at its decline. The book does not pretend Africa is innocent. African leaders, it does not absolve local elites for their greed, brutality, and betrayal, but it refuses to accept the convenient lie that Africa's failures exist in isolation. Dictators do not survive on repression alone. They survive on Western recognition, on their aid, on security perhaps, on silence, on the quiet approval of those who know better but do nothing. In its most searing passages, the hypocrisy of the West turns the moral mirror outward. It asks Western readers to imagine a different world, one where their votes are ignored, their protests crushed, their killers congratulated, and their suffering explained away as complex as they do. How long, it asks, would they stay in their own countries? This is not a book that begs the West to save Africa. It is a book that demands the West stop destroying it while pretending to help. It calls for nothing revolutionary, only consistency. If democracy matters, defend it everywhere. If votes matter, respect them everywhere. If human rights matter, apply them without hierarchy. Until that happens, the hypocrisy of the West warns the crisis will not end. Migration will continue. Instability will deepen. Anger will harden. And the West will keep fighting the symptom of a disease it refuses to acknowledge. A disease called hypocrisy. The hypocrisy of the West, ladies and gentlemen, is ultimately a refusal to die politely. It strips away the comforting narratives and exposes the brutal arithmetic of power. When principles are selectively applied, they cease to be principles at all. And when democracy is betrayed, often enough, people stop trying to practice it. They start running. Africa's tragedy, the book concludes, is not that it failed democracy. It is that democracy was never allowed to fail honestly, only to be sabotaged, to be managed and buried under congratulatory press releases from the West. That is the charge, and it is not easily dismissed. Ladies and gentlemen, that is what you will find in my elaboration, in my narrative in the book, The Hypocrisy of the West. Again, the book is right now published on Amazon. The book is on Amazon. You can find, just go there. You go to Amazon and you type in Amazon.com and you type in the hypocrisy of the West. You'll be able either to buy an electronic copy, a Kindle copy, or you can buy the hardcover copy. It will be shipped to you. The book says hardcover is only, I think, $17. And the Kindle edition, I think, is only about $5. But it is not about the price, neither is it about the money. It is about the ideas. One way to fight migration, ladies and gentlemen, and the smell that is now attributed to it in Western borders. There is a program called UK Border. I don't know how many of you watched that program called UK Border. There is also another one, Australian Border. There is one, US Border, and so on and so forth. And you see the way Africans are treated at those borders. They are treated as non-entities, people that should not exist, as pariahs they consider Africans to be. But why? The question is, why are Africans fleeing their own countries? Ladies and gentlemen, some of you, just as I am, was forced here. I never dreamt of coming here. But when you fight and you fight and you fight and you realize that the people who tell you to fight are not there to back you, You have no choice but to leave. That is why people are fleeing Cameroon, fleeing Tanzania, fleeing Uganda. Look at Uganda yesterday. Museveni still won the election, I think, for the 4th or 5th term. And he is grooming his son to take over. At the same time, the people cannot afford basic living. They can't afford food. They can't afford housing. Look back to La République du Cameroon. People cannot afford food. They can't afford to send children to school, ladies and gentlemen. And then an election takes place, and you are thinking that the West will say, "Hey, Mr. Beer, your time is up. We can no longer recognize you. You've been here for too long. You've overstayed your visit." No, they send congratulatory messages. For a man as good as death, a man who doesn't even know whether he sleeps, whether he is alive or dead. No, they congratulate him. A lot of hypocrisy in the West, but I will let you get a copy of the book. Again, go to Amazon.com, enter the title Hypocrisy of the West. You will be able to find the book, buy it, read it, and let's see what we can make out of that situation. Something has to change. We are not happy Africans in the diaspora. We are here because of circumstances, ladies and gentlemen. And that is why I fight for my own country, Amazonia. If we have a free country, a country where people can choose their own administrators, a country where people can initiate their own development, a country where the right education is given to the people, a country where administrators are responsible to the people. What would we be doing out here in the diaspora? Nothing. Nothing. Unfortunately, they set us up and they sit behind, they laugh at us. You run into their country, they call you illegal citizen, illegal immigrant. I will make a point. Again, read it for yourself. Get to Amazon.com, enter the search term, Hypocrisy of the West. And when you read it, please do me the favor, leave a review. Leave a review. There are many case studies in the book. I use Cameroon as a case study. I use Tanzania, I use Cote d'Ivoire, I use Burkina Faso, I use Amazonia case studies. I think Uganda is also there. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, when I come back, I will open the phone lines to take your calls in this next segment. So please stay tuned. I will be right back to take your calls.
ABS can help you reach your target audience like never before. Advertising on ABS, you'll benefit from our extensive reach and dedicated viewership. We offer special advertising packages during primetime slots and popular shows. You'll also be featured on our social media platforms, reaching an even wider audience. Don't miss out on this opportunity. Take your business to the next level. Contact our advertising team at absafricatv@gmail.com. ABS can help you reach your target audience like never before. Advertising on ABS, you'll benefit from our extensive reach and dedicated viewership. We offer special advertising packages during primetime slots and popular shows. You'll also be featured on our social media platforms, reaching an even wider audience. Don't miss out on this opportunity. Take your business to the next level. Contact our advertising team at absafricatv@gmail.com.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for staying put. At this moment, I am going to open the phone lines to allow you bring in your contribution on the subjects I have discussed here tonight. And remember, before you call, make sure you shut down the volume of your television set. Shut down the volume of your television set before you call so that you can focus on your phone. Again, I think the phone line is right there on your screen. Let me know what you have on your mind. on the subjects I have discussed with you tonight. Go ahead and call. The phone line is open. All right. All right. Again, the phone line is open, ladies and gentlemen. The phone line is open. Go ahead and call. I'd like to know what is on your mind about the subjects that I have discussed tonight. Morocco, AFCON 2026, the hypocrisy of the West. Let's get to this caller here. Hello.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Bamenda.
Wonderful. What is on your mind, sir?
Yeah, I want to thank you for the great program you're doing right now.
Thank you.
It's really impactful. I've been glued to my TV, and I want to thank you for this great book, The Hypocrisy of the West.
Thank you.
In fact, Dante said the hottest places in hell are reserved for those who in a period of moral crisis maintain their neutrality. You have proven not to be silent in such precarious moments, and that book is an eye-opener to what is going on. We need much people, many others like you, who have knowledge of the realities of the ground to speak out. One of the problems we have in Africa is that our people are silent. They don't want to open up to let the world know the pain that people are going through. So I think that book is going to go a long way to set the pace for others to begin to see what is really happening in Africa. So I wish to thank you so much for that great development.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for the call.
Have a blessed. Thank you.
All right. The phone line is open, ladies and gentlemen. Go ahead and call. Let me know what is on your mind. And again, you can find the hypocrisy of the West on Amazon. All you need to do is go there, go to Amazon.com and enter the search term hypocrisy of the West. You will find exactly the image you find there on Amazon to be able to, you can buy a Kindle copy. A Kindle copy is cheaper. A Kindle means you can just download it onto your phone or your tablet and read it. That will come, that will be the entire book, And then if you want the hard copy, the paper copy, you order and Amazon will be able to mail that to you. I doubt if Amazon will mail to all of Africa. I think in Africa, Amazon probably will only mail to South Africa, maybe Kenya, not even Nigeria. I don't think they don't mail, not even to Nigeria. Ghana, maybe, I'm not so sure. It is possible that they could mail to Ghana. But again, that is where you will find it. Again, the phone line is open. The phone line is open. Go ahead. Call in. Let me know what is on your mind. Let me know what is on your mind about my message on the hypocrisy of the West, or the African Cup of Nations, or the peace summit being summoned in the Indu on Saturday. Go ahead and call. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, the launch of this book will be taking place in about 2 weeks from today. It's going to be a big ceremony. And the good thing is that will take place virtually, so that anybody in any part of the world can attend. We're going to be having some interesting personalities at that launch, and I hope that you will prepare. We are working on the promotion material, and Very soon we will start promoting it. So the book will be a format a launch in about 2 weeks' time. I am still waiting for the hard copies myself. So once we get the hard copies to us, which will come, I think, before Saturday or by Saturday or Monday, you should start receiving the promotion material for the launching of the book. Okay, again, the phone line is open. Within the next 5 minutes, if there is no call or caller, I will assume everybody is all set and we will call it a night. All right. All right. I will take a brief break out, ladies and gentlemen. And when I come back, I continue with your calls. So please stay put.
ABS can help you reach your target audience like never before. Advertising on ABS, you'll benefit from our extensive reach and dedicated viewership. We offer special advertising packages during primetime slots and popular shows. You'll also be featured on our social media platforms, reaching an even wider audience. Don't miss out on this opportunity. Take your business to the next level. Contact our advertising team at absafricativ@gmail.com. ABS can help you reach your target audience like never before. Advertising on ABS, you'll benefit from our extensive reach and dedicated viewership. We offer special advertising packages during primetime slots and popular shows. You'll also be featured on our social media platforms, reaching an even wider audience. Don't miss out on this opportunity. Take your business to the next level. Contact our advertising team at absafricativ@gmail.com.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for staying put. Again, the phone line is open for your calls. However, in the absence of any callers, I will be calling it a night. And I hope to be back here. I have some really interesting programming coming up on Thursday. We're going to be talking immigration on Thursday, and we will have a panel of immigration lawyers to explain exactly what all these visa bans and ICE arrests and so on and so forth mean to those who want to come to the U.S., who are in the U.S., and who do not have former status to live in the USA. That will be on Thursday. Okay, let me see. Somebody is sending a message here. Again, the phone line is open. Go ahead and call. But this person writes, "Good evening, Comrade Chris. Only you have never lived with these Bororos. These people are Sangobinatan. I've never heard of this terminology. These people are Sangobinatan on earth. They have collaborated with the Cameroonian army and killed more than 15 Amazonian fighters in Bali. They come to Bali in the dry season and destroy our farms and crops with the complicity of the SDO and the traditional council, because they come and give them cows and money, and we the farmers are left with nothing." All right, I hear you, sir, and this is the reason why I said it is not enough for the colonial divisional officer, no, the mayor of Indu, to think that he can call the so-called elites, the imams and the pastors, the clergy, and their CPDM elites to come and sit one-sided and think they can resolve this conflict. People like this, whose farms have been destroyed in Bali, in Indu, in Gidado, in Itumba, they need to be on the table. And Amazonian stakeholders should be on the table before they can find lasting peace, a lasting solution to that crisis. One side cannot be held entirely responsible for the killings between the Mbororo community and the alleged Ambazonian fighters. Thank you for the message, sir. Without any call again, if there is no call in the next 1 minute, then I will call it a night. And I look forward again to coming back on Thursday with a very special program. A very special program. And Thursday, I may be here tomorrow, I may not be here tomorrow, but Thursday and Friday, I am very sure I will be here. Let's get back to this caller here. Oh, all right. Hello.
Thank you, Secretary. Thank you for getting me back on air.
Okay. Where you called earlier from Bamenda?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Go on. What is on your mind, sir?
Yeah. I first of all want to start by talking about the killings in Indu.
Okay.
It was really heart-wrenching and a gracious act that everyone must condemn with all vehemence. The killing of children is really, 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 really bad. And anyone involved in such has to be condemned. That is evil, crime against God, crime against man. So we hope that whoever is responsible for that should repent. That is evil. And with regards to your book, with regards to that book again, I want to say that there is this political bigotry going on.
There is what?
I mean, the political skullduggery, a bigotry that's going on.
Bigotry, okay.
The double standards of the West.
Mm-hmm.
You see what happened in Venezuela. Venezuela is not as bad as African countries, but they are going to invade Venezuela. But when it comes to African countries, they
I think you have a
successful and
yeah. Go on. You had a network issue. Go on.
yeah, we are in. It's really a cesspool, and we are calling on the international community that Africa changes, and the earlier they start looking into workable solutions to solve the African problems, the better. Because when the problems in Africa are solved, it's going to reduce the rate of migration,
Okay.
reduce the rate of immigration.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Let's get to the next caller here. Hello. Hello.
So,
Hello, sir. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Ground Zero.
What is on your mind, sir?
Okay. Hello.
Yes, go on. I can hear you. What's on your mind? We lost that caller. Okay. The line is still open. Go ahead and call if you need to. All right. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Again, I will be back here tomorrow, Thursday, Friday, but Thursday and Friday will be very special. And we'll be talking immigration. And Friday, I will be talking Isa Chiroma and elections in Cameroon, the coming elections in Cameroon. In the meantime, do not forget, go to Amazon, amazon.com, and get your copy of The Hypocrisy of the West. And I look forward to being back here, ladies and gentlemen, again on tomorrow, Thursday and Friday. Good night and God bless.
for November 2017. When Puwabia declare war for Ambazonia, our brothers and sisters them pick cutlass them. Our brothers and sisters them pin them guns for defend homeland. Them be talk say them go crash Amba in 2 weeks, but not 10 years now I'm counting. The Republic still nova fit crash Amba. Shame.